Could we be thinking of a time when having a high IQ is good, but nobody's going to employ you for it?
In the pages of history, whoever is going to madly seek security at this point of view is not going to be considered an evolving individual.
The fact that we were so miserly in defining intelligence itself that we didn't leave any room for traits which were far more valuable.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Pathik podcast. As you might know, this is a very special series which involves a very special guest, one of the youngest fund managers in this country. He spent 17 years at a corporate stint working for one of the country's biggest mutual funds. But he left it all and started his own fund called Bristlecone Equity Fund. I hope you all enjoy the conversation that follows. Hi, Vihang.
Hi, Swanik.
There is talk of the town about AI in almost every quarter. But we are not talking about the perhaps collateral damage that is happening on human intelligence.
So, intelligence is this often used, least understood word, right? We have equated intelligence as somebody who can pass exams, right? You know, whether a great basketball player who hasn't cleared school, is he intelligent? Science says that there are various science types of intelligence. Even the hand-eye coordination needed to play great basketball is a type of intelligence, but we don't really recognize it that way.
Right.
So the term intelligence itself is very hazy, and now with the advent of AI, it's gonna bring in a lot more complications in my eyes.
Do you see intelligence as like this highly unwieldy creature that has to be tamed? Because, of course, academics, the education system is trying to tame it into certain boxes. We have a lot of research happening, a lot of diagnostics propping up, especially in the last century, trying to put a number to intelligence. So, how do you see uh, w- over time? What do you think? How are we going with the way we are perceiving intelligence?
So, different ages, I guess, valued and understood intelligence differently, right? In the hunter-gatherer world, your ability to compute wasn't really valuable, right? Your ability to basically, intelligence could have meant how aware are you of your surroundings to
Right.
protect and hunt, right? You know, in the last 100 years, the ability to rationalize, the ability to, logically understand and interpret has come at a premium,
Right.
right? Which is why most of our, best thinkers are engineers today,
Right.
right? Now with the advent of AI, you can see that anyone who has a smartphone basically has Einstein level of intelligence in their pocket,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So the bigger question to ask today is that uh, you know how will intelligence evolve from here? If it is, if AI has made intelligence, or has it really made intelligence a commodity,
Uh-huh.
right?
Right.
And if it does, then what should you or the future generations really be training themselves for?
Right.
Do you still have to pass SATs, GREs to prove your intelligence, which is actually available for free, right? Would it get the premium that it got in the past century in
Yeah.
the next century?
Right. Right.
I keep grappling with that question in my head. What any views?
I have often seen that the less intelligence is a part of somebody's conscious nature, the more is it a more subtle part of your character, something that emanates out of you. I think shoving intelligence into a conversation, saying this person is more intelligent than the other, I think in today's day and age, it is more of a exposing me and my nature more than it does about their intelligence levels per se.
No, true. No.
Right.
You know, I don't know where I read about it, but you know, it basically is that what industrial revolution did to human and animal muscle, right? The AI revolution is going to do the same to the human brain.
Oh.
So, 300 years ago, if you were muscular, if you, you know, you could do stuff, you had to move stuff, right? Or you had animals to move things and move people, right? Then industrial revolution hit us, and those abilities pretty much were rendered useless,
Right.
right? You now don't need pay a premium for a hefty, you know, bulky guy who can lift things, right? It's society has decided that those skill sets are valuable for exhibition, wherein you can have a great body and maybe participate in bodybuilding shows,
Yeah.
but it doesn't really solve a lot of human problems anymore because there are machines who can do it cheaper
Right.
and better.
Uh-huh.
My sometime my thesis is, and I keep thinking over this, could intelligence also be reduced to a exhibitional trait going forward, where the ability to think better and solve problems could just the society might not pay and need them, you know, because machines can do it far cheaper and far better.
I think the entire idea of artificial intelligence is an assumption that intelligence can be artificially replicated. I see intelligence and the human factor of intelligence as a parcel of two parts, which is the ability to think, as you said, things that can be externalized, can be seen, can be replicated. And then there is that mysterious element of the person that is doing it. In our last episode, we spoke about having a personal appeal towards self help. So I think we time and again go to that personal part.
So, one way of putting it is that the Industrial Revolution took away the need for muscles. The AI revolution is taking away the need for lack of a better word, IQ. What may be left and what might be rewarded in the future is the hidden brain that you're talking about, which could which could manifest in the form of feelings, right? For example, today, you know, as a wealth advisor, let's say, you know, an AI can maybe in a few years possibly do a far better job in allocating assets better than a human. Okay, but a human wealth advisor evokes something that a machine, at least at this moment, cannot, which is trust. You know, if I'm an HNI with millions of dollars at stake, I need a human being to trust. You know, think about it this way: today, ChatGPT can possibly give you better answers from a health perspective than a doctor would, right? If you really, let's say, have a chest pain today at the middle of the night, can you just ask ChatGPT? And if ChatGPT says, "Okay, Swanik, no, there's no problem, just go to sleep," can you really go to sleep? Right? Because if you had a heart attack instead of just a heartburn, and if you fed that to ChatGPT, okay, you said this is heartburn, but it is actually a heart attack. ChatGPT will just say, "Okay, sorry, next time I'll do better."
Exactly.
Right?
No repercussions.
No repercussions. So the what matters here is the feelings of trust, of belief. These are the things I feel will come at a big premium, and they are also intelligence.
Right.
We don't categorize them this way, but things like likability. We don't do business with people who are the best. We do business with people who we like. Right now, if abilities are commoditized, right, ability to think is commoditized, the the ability to be likable will come at a premium,
Okay.
right?
Uh-huh.
Or the ability to evoke trust will come at a premium,
The human touch.
the human touch, and that is also intelligence,
Right.
which is just not commoditized yet.
So what I can perceive from you is that while intelligence is already being fragmented into emotional intelligence, cognitive intelligence, etc., etc., there will be certain intelligences that will be placed at a higher and maybe leaning more towards human, as you said, will be placed at a higher pedestal than the ones that we once used to place on a pedestal like nobody's business. Like the ability to just be able to replicate whatever is written in the textbook onto an exam test. And let's just say, okay, giving them benefit of doubt to apply those concepts on paper. But now that what I can understand is being rendered waste.
It is being reduced to being a the importance is just in exhibition. For example, my grandfather, one of my uncles, great grand uncles, were employed because he had a beautiful handwriting.
Oh.
Right, at that time that was at a great premium, because you needed to write official records with a great handwriting. Right now, having a great handwriting is good, but nobody is going to employ you for it. Right, could we be thinking of a time when having a high IQ is good, but nobody is going to employ you for it? Right.
Yeah, because you have to, for bosses, they have to deal with an attitude which they wouldn't when it comes to chat GPT.
Exactly, exactly. So we are living in a world which is rapidly changing.
Right.
About 2.5 years ago, I first heard, the name of ChatGPT.
Right.
Today, I think it has invaded our life, faster than any other technology, right? And we also underestimate the rate of change, right? We think that AI is going to be able to do what it is going to do today, and maybe tomorrow is going to be 10% better, right? But that's the challenge of human intelligence, because we cannot think geometrically.
Right.
We can only think linearly. Right? It's the same problem when somebody asks you if the number of tigers which are going to attack you keeps doubling with every roar, and a tiger roars 10 times. Right? We cannot fathom that 2 raised to 10 is 1024.
Right.
So after 10 roars, there are going to be 1,000 tigers attacking you. But that's not how our mind works.
Right.
Right? So similarly for AI also, we cannot understand that in 2 years, the rate of change can be so rapid that a lot of things that we assume today will be history.
So I think at this point, like I think you mentioned a very, very interesting point, and it's something that I have read in a book by Alex Bellows. It's about mathematics and all his discoveries in the field of mathematics connecting to human history and the stages it has passed. So this idea of perceiving numbers and perceiving things in a linear progression, even though nature always says otherwise, is an interesting part. But I think what I'm gathering from the points that you're giving me is that we need an evolved definition of intelligence that suits humans more than it suits AI. And in a certain sense, unconsciously, without understanding. Obviously, this is out of benefit of hindsight that we are saying this, but we were able to push intelligence only in the boxes that can be made artificial. We never explored intelligence in the vast sky of human frontiers, you know. So, actually, my point was, can we look at intelligence more as an ability to transmute our experience from time to time?
Yeah, definitely so. And the coming times will give us the opportunity to define intelligence better. It is going to take away the focus that we have on compute, right, or solve to feel
Right.
or evoke. Those are the things which might gain renewed importance.
Right.
And this gives us like really true problems to solve. For example, if you have a kid today, the natural inclination of a parent is to tell the kid to study hard and get good grades and to get to a good college, then do engineering and then find a job, right? But the current engineers will not are not having jobs,
Yeah.
right? Because AI.
Yeah.
How do you, in that scenario, what do you tell your kid?
Yeah.
Right? Isn't then telling him or her to actually study harder? And I'm saying this something controversial, or a lot of parents might not like it. But isn't then asking your kids to study harder a bit like is a bit like telling your kids to just build more muscles, because at one point in time it was very important and remunerative to do so.
Yeah.
Right? Would you tell your kid today, for example, to give up studies and focus on your muscles?
It seems backward
But
to
that
think
was
that way.
exactly what a very successful parent, a kid, did about 300 years ago.
Right.
Right?
Right.
So we are creating a lot of problems. We have to give thought to a lot of new problems which are getting created. We can't solve tomorrow's problems with yesterday's mindset.
In fact, the dynamic nature of intelligence, I guess, is the most important, because we live in an age of acceleration. The time 2K hit us, after that, like after 2007 to 8 to 9 to 10, of course, I think there was another readjustment to try to go back to the old. But then now, after COVID, the way things are accelerating, I think we need to be able to think and thrive in insecurity rather than seek security. And I think in the pages of history, whoever is going to madly seek security at this point of view is not going to be considered an evolving individual.
And I just turned 40. I had a 20-year career, corporate career. In my career, I have felt that even the conventional of definition of intelligence, I have believed that it is highly overrated. For the people who had a high IQ, has that been a predictor of success, of happiness, of all the desirable things that we want? I really have a big question after observing people in my 20-year career.
Right.
Have you read the book In the Intelligence Trap?
That's what I was going to come to.
Yeah, yeah.
Want to know your insights out of it. What is the overall idea that you got from it? How did it change your mindset towards intelligence?
So it's an amazing book, and it opened up my mind, and it kind of reinforced what I observed firsthand. It basically says that the people who we think are intelligent, who pass a lot of tests and clear a lot of grades, do not really make better decisions. For one, yeah. Why do they not make good decisions? Because they can rationalize their mistakes way better than non-intelligent people.
Ah, okay.
So intelligence, not only a higher intelligence, not only gives you an ability to argue better with others, it also gives you a better ability to argue better with yourself.
Uh-huh.
Right?
Yeah.
And that is a very, very tough space to be. And the book kind of enumerates examples where, really huge figures, people who have contributed to society in very, very big, many meaningful ways, Nobel laureates, have fallen trapped to simple scams,
Ah,
which, an uneducated guy would never fall for.
right.
And that kind of blew up my mind, that if that is true, then what really is the value of intelligence, and why do we put it at such a pedestal?
Yeah, I think it's also like, in a certain weird way, devoting yourself to the language such that it replaces your reality. Like the way you are able to package your own situation in words. If it's always in such an immaculate and flowery sense, you miss out on that honesty that silent reality provides.
I get what you mean.
Yeah.
So, one of the things that I wrote in my journal once was, intelligence basically gives you the ability to win arguments.
Ah.
Wisdom gives you the ability not to get into arguments. Right?
Yeah.
So, it is wise to just believe that I don't need this in my life right now. But intelligence gives you the ability to win it, and unfortunately, society loves people who can articulate
Yes.
well,
Yes.
even though they might be wrong.
Right, yes. I can name like countless people in my school who were simply held up on a pedestal simply because they were able to make certain points, intellectual points, sound like they were, first of all, sanitized, and second of all, pleasing to the ears.
And I might sound as though I'm preachy, but I'm guilty of this myself. I have made many more mistakes in my life, which, because of an above average IQ, if I may say so. And, I have realized what kind of a handicap it genuinely is. Right? Socrates says that the most wise person is the one who knows that he doesn't know.
Right.
Right? And I have been guilty of not knowing what I don't know.
Right.
All right, and that is a very, very tough space to be. It is like in poker. In poker they said that if you get bad hands, that's not bad news. It is the bad hands which you believe are good, which make you lose the maximum money. Right?
Yeah. The ones you fall for.
The ones you fall for. So, same for intelligence. When you believe that you're right, even when you're not, but you can rationalize it to yourself because you're intelligent, right? And the second interesting point, Swanik, is that of identity. What happens is, for intelligent people, intelligence becomes an identity, right? Because everyone has applauded it.
Yeah.
You have succeeded in life because of that one attribute. It becomes your identity.
Correct.
And what happens when your identity gets questioned?
Ego.
Right?
Yes.
Whenever your identity gets questioned, you vehemently oppose it.
Right.
Right? If you identify yourself, as a for example, a Mumbai Indians fan, and if I say anything against Mumbai Indians, it will trigger something in you.
Right.
For an intelligent person, intelligence is his identity. And what it triggers him is when he goes wrong and he's proven to be less intelligent.
Right.
And he never accepts it. That's the reason the mistakes just compound.
Yeah, and also like I think the way you experience life, um, I think a highly intelligent person outside of the little boxes that we are talking about would have a very mature mindset towards failure, towards setbacks. When grounds are tested, when you are taken into unknown waters, how do you respond? I think that should be the measure of intelligence.
That's a brilliant
But it is
point.
not.
That's a brilliant point. In fact, I read it somewhere that in the Australian real cricket team,
Ah,
if I guess I'm getting it right, they do not accept people, however good you might be, unless you have failed sometime in your life.
oh,
So
wow.
failure is a qualifying criteria for selection.
Wow.
You know, and why is
And the
that?
very fact that you have failed and you have still kept going, I think that is also a big thing. That you are still seeking out uh, the waters of cricket once again. That is a measure of true strength.
Exactly. Like I personally have read a lot of books, right? And I have had quite a few degrees. But I believe that what sports has taught me over the last 2 3 years is more than all of these degrees and books combined.
Wow.
Because sport has taught me a lot of things like failing, getting back when you're failed, being out of form, and being okay with it.
Uh-huh.
Just not leaving the field,
Right.
and all of these experientially cannot be taught to you even if you read 1,000 books.
In fact, sports, I think, acquires a magical status when the human part leaks out of it. So let me elaborate on this. I think I remember the time, it was, I think, 2 years back, when I was watching, just casually studying for an exam, and I just all my assignments were over, and I was going to watch a cricket match after a long time, and I happened to watch Afghanistan versus Australia cricket, and it was an ODI match, and it was the night when Glenn Maxwell got injured. When he bats under normal conditions and does well, that's fine. But when he had his entire knee almost in a fracture and all the medics telling him to get off the pitch, but he was the only guy, last man standing as a batsman, and the way he played that night, for me, that was magic. And I think that is where intelligence shines. That is what parses a fake intelligent person, an artificially intelligent person, from a human intelligence.
So, that exactly is also a problem with highly intelligent people. Our society, our exams, education system doesn't have room for failure.
Ah,
Like how many times have you really failed in a class and been okay with it?
yeah.
You know,
And even if you are okay with it, the world outside is not going to accept you.
it is like I know people who have failed in a subject in primary, and they have literally told me that they felt like committing suicide.
Right.
It's that kind of pressure that we have put young minds into, right?
Yeah.
How is that mind going to react at the age of 30 when he is going to face failure,
Yes.
right? Is he going to stand there, or is he going to give up?
Right.
Yeah. So I feel, and for all our viewers here, one of the best things that you can do to yourself is to start playing a sport.
Uh-huh.
At some decent level, even if it is your gully cricket, that's okay. But I feel that if you start playing a sport at a slightly serious level, that's going to really change you as a human being.
And I think it is also a matter of acquiring a solitary pleasure out of it, which is not associated with the numbers involved. Right? If you can spend time on a game without ever having anybody cheer for you for it, I think that elevates meaning to another level.
At Pathik, you would have, this, that
Right.
change only happens with experience.
Correct.
All right.
Yeah.
With when you learn it by with your own actions, that's when change is easier, not just by consuming information. Right. And what better way to experience failure than to fail? and
Yeah.
and nobody, the beauty about sport is that nobody can succeed all the time in sport.
Right.
Your body is just not designed to function at peak capacity every time, right? So ironically, and circling back to the topic that we have in our hand today, these are the very types of intelligence which are going to be at a premium. How do you react when you fail? What kind of grit do you have? What kind of bravery do you have?
Right.
Right, when once you fail.
Right. Right.
So that these attributes, I don't know, I am not a coder, but these attributes, I don't know if they can be codified anytime soon into AI.
I think what I'm gathering from the entire conversation as a whole is the idea that AI is taking care of some intelligence, but it is taking care of a very superficial level of intelligence that we held on a pedestal and considered one of the greatest attributes of our life. But that is out of the way, and it might be a nice thing. We might have more time, we might have more bandwidth to go deeper, to go to the human part of intelligence. And as I said, I think transmute, be able to respond, make our intelligence responsive to the
and
outside world.
and mind you, this ability we have kept at a pedestal only for the last about 100, 200, 300 years, maybe.
Right.
You
For us, it's a long time, but
Yeah.
it's literally a blurb of existence.
Yeah, you think about it like a poet in the darbar of a king was far richer than a merchant who could calculate well. So it is not that this attribute was always kept at a premium. It is just that in the information age, it came into prominence, and I think it might go out of prominence very soon.
Makes sense. I think one of the major themes we can also like finally discuss is, has intelligence any connection to timelessness? We have had this entire conversation within the constraints of like a certain age, adapting ourselves to the ages and all of that. But perhaps the measure of genius, the highest form of intelligence that we consider, comes out of a certain level of timelessness that is, I guess, present in qualities of individuals who have really transcended.
No, definitely, right? I think anything which succeeds with the Lindy effect, passes the test of time. For example, Lao Tzu, right? Written what about 2-3 thousand years ago? Yeah, has stood the test of time.
Yes.
Is timeless.
Yes.
So that wisdom is always going to be having a timeless quality.
Yes.
you know
Right.
the ability to compute, the ability to rationalize might lose out,
Right.
but the ability to think clearly, for example, right, it has a timeless tinge which is not going to go anytime soon.
Right. Yeah.
especially in the age of chaos.
Hmm.
Imagine the chaos that we could create when everybody is thinks that he's a genius because of ChatGPT. It's already visible in the markets
Yes. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
because it's giving you a confidence today. The when you're putting a problem at AI and the answers that you get is giving you a confidence today, which you didn't have before the age of AI.
Correct.
You were always doubting, is
Correct.
this right, wrong? And with that confidence, you act.
Hmm.
And a lot of people act in the same way, which is why you have these parabolic moves in a lot of asset prices,
Right.
right? You've seen equities, then you've seen Bitcoin, then you've seen gold, then you've seen
Yeah.
silver.
Yeah.
Why does this happen? Right? Because people finally intelligence is getting outsourced.
Correct.
Unfortunately, it is not unique to you. Everybody has access to it.
Hmm.
So
Yes.
everyone thinks in droves.
Hmm. I think artificial intelligence depreciates with time. It will have a value in your present moment, whatever it is. But that same intelligence is always going to depreciate. But human intelligence, true, crystallized, unadulterated human intelligence, will always appreciate with time.
No, definitely. As long as you're going to be dealing with humans, you're
Yeah.
going to value a certain qualities that are rare, right? For example, think about an entrepreneur who doesn't score a lot in IQ, but scores a lot in risk taking.
Uh-huh.
In fact, they are inverted. The one of the reason why the toppers in your class have not been the richest person. You're 20, you're still in your 20s, but at my age or even more, you can see that the toppers in your class are not really the most successful.
Uh-huh.
One of the reasons is because intelligence also gives you the unintended ability to overthink.
Ah,
Because you think so many pathways
right.
and you know the probabilities, you're not sure of anything.
Yeah, you mean the performative intelligence that.
Right.
Yeah.
But now a guy with lesser intelligence but more risk taking ability takes one path but commits himself completely and succeeds.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Right? So these abilities will come at a huge premium. And that
Correct.
also is an intelligence. It's just that we don't recognize it as such.
So actually, I think based on this conversation, it almost seems like what we have assumed all our lives, that intelligence comes inborn, that you're born with it. I don't think that holds water, because it is over time how have you responded to everything that has been thrown at you in the waters of life.
That and the fact that we were so miserly in defining intelligence itself that we didn't leave any room for traits which were far more valuable. That is going to be that is going to come to the fore now.
Well, let's just leave this for the future. Let's leave this for time to decide how things will go on. So, on that note, this was our conversation. Again, had a lot
Thank
of
you.
fun
We are
talking about these things
truly
about with
living
you.
in great times,
Yes,
and yeah, may life be as interesting in the
absolutely.
future.
Yeah.